Let us look at the dual of the support vector machine formulation that we have seen earlier. I have copied the figure and the formulation here. Let us associate the dual variable lambda I with these constraints, and let us write down the Lagrangian as a function of a, b, w and lambda. So note that a, w and lambda are vectors and b is a scalar, as norm square of a plus lambda times summation of wi. I am writing it as a summation of wi instead of the L1 norm because wi's are all non-negative, plus summation over I from 1 to m. Let's say there are m data points, lambda I times 1 minus yi a transpose xi plus b minus wi, and I will keep the wi greater than equal to 0 constraint as implicit. Now let us minimize each of the terms that depend on a, b and w respectively. So the minimization with respect to a is simple. So we have the problem norm square of a minus summation of lambda I yi a transpose xi equal to 1 to m. This is a quadratic problem in A, so therefore you can see that the minimum is given by a equal to half I equal to 1 to m lambda I yi xi. Next, let us look at the problem with respect to b. So with respect to b, we have b times summation of lambda I yi equal to 1 to m, which we already know. It's very simple. It is minus infinity if summation of lambda I yi is not equal to 0, and if summation of lambda I yi is equal to 0, then this is 0. Then finally we have minimization with respect to wi with the implicit constraint that it is greater than equal to 0 times lambda minus lambda I wi is equal to, so this is equal to 0 whenever lambda minus lambda I is greater than equal to 0. So if lambda minus lambda I is greater than equal to 0, the smallest value that you can have is 0, which you would obtain by picking wi equal to 0, and it is minus infinity whenever lambda minus lambda I is less than 0. So combining all of these, we obtain the dual problem as maximization of summation of lambda I minus 1 by 4 summation over I equal to 1 to m, j equal to 1 to m, lambda I, lambda j, yi, yj, xi transpose xj, and subject to the constraint that summation of lambda I yi is equal to 0 and lambda I is between 0 and lambda. So this is the dual of the SVM formulation. Observe here that it is a quadratic problem in lambda. So this is with respect to lambda. Recall that lambda was non-zero for all the points that were either on the boundary or were misclassified. So whole problem boils down to finding the correct non-zero values of lambda. There is one thing I must point out, is that this formulation has often been generalized by replacing this term with a general function of the form xi, k of xi, xj. So this is called the kernel function. Now kernel methods are a kind of machine learning methods. They are out of scope for this course, but I'm just mentioning that if we replace xi transpose xj with general function of the form k of xi, xj, then it becomes a nonlinear classifier. Instead of a linear classifier, we can have all sorts of nonlinear boundaries classifying the two sets of points. And an example of a kernel function is the e raised to the power minus xi minus xj norm square. Right, so that is an example. This is not the same as xi transpose xj. It's a different function, and by replacing this with this, we obtain a class of nonlinear classifier. So this formulation, the dual formulation of SVM, allows us to generalize into that form, nonlinear form of SVM. There is yet another way in which the SVM has been formulated and generalized, and that is the hinge loss formulation. So to understand the hinge loss formulation, let us copy our original problem. So this was our original formulation. Now in this problem, we can actually eliminate Wi as follows. So what we can do is that first rewrite this constraint. So let us rewrite this constraint as 1 minus yi times A transpose xi plus b less than equal to Wi. Right? So this is equivalent way of rewriting it. And now observe these two constraints and observe what they are implying. So what we are saying is that this quantity on the left hand side is less than equal to Wi and Wi is greater than equal to 0. This constraint would be trivially satisfied if Wi is equal to 0. So this implies that if Wi is equal to 0 and 1 minus yi A transpose xi plus b is less than equal to 0, then Wi equal to 0 is satisfying this constraint. And in the other case, if this quantity 1 minus yi A transpose xi minus plus b is actually greater than 0, then we can just take W to be that, because after all we were minimizing the entries of W. So in that case we can take it to be 1 minus A transpose xi plus b. So this is otherwise, right? So Wi, these are the two possible choices of Wi. So really what I've done is I've written Wi in terms of A and b, which are also optimization variables. So another way of saying this is that Wi is equal to max of 1 minus yi A transpose xi plus b comma 0. So this is a closed form expression for Wi. So let us call this as L of yi A transpose xi plus b. Right? So what is this L function? L of x is basically given by max of 1 minus x comma 0. So this is called the hinge loss. So having defined the hinge loss in this way, we can write the original formulation as minimize norm square of A plus lambda times summation over I from 1 to m L of yi times A transpose xi plus b, and there are no longer any constraints. So this is an alternative formulation which is in terms of this hinge loss. So what does this hinge loss look like? Let me also plot L of x versus x. You can see that the hinge loss is like this. It looks something like this. So we have 1 minus x line and then it becomes 0 after a certain point. So this is how the hinge loss looks like. And it is like saying that till minus 1 I have no penalty. So if this quantity is less than equal to minus 1, I have no penalty, and beyond minus 1 I put a linear penalty. So here we have 0 penalty, and after a certain point we have a linear penalty. So it's like a piecewise linear penalty. This basically suggests that you can use all sorts of penalties here, and that would give you the generalization of SVM. In the other way, for example, you could also use the 0-1 penalty. So this is called the 0-1 loss. Basically it becomes 1 after this point minus 1, and before that it is 0. Another possibility is the loss function, which looks something like this. So this is actually the logistic loss. So this is the way in which SVM and 0-1 penalty and logistic loss, all these problems are related to each other in this way. So that's all for support vector machines. We have seen 3 very different formulations of the same problem, one using duality and one using elimination of Wi.